When the spotlight once again locks onto Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, the internet explodes with one burning question: what is really going on behind this headline-making relationship? In the past few days alone, their names have surged across global search trends, dominating conversations, fueling theories, and igniting curiosity at a massive scale. Before we go deeper, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see this story. It all started with a recent appearance that many are calling too intimate to ignore. Paparazzi cameras captured moments that instantly went viral, subtle glances, body language, and quiet gestures that fans dissected frame by frame. Was this undeniable proof that their relationship is getting more serious, or just another carefully crafted public image moment in the world of celebrity culture? That question alone has been enough to push their names back to the top of trending topics worldwide. From the very beginning, the connection between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner has lived in a strange space, extremely private, yet constantly under public scrutiny. They rarely confirm anything directly, yet every single sighting becomes a global headline. And ironically, that silence is exactly what keeps the world watching. The less they say, the more people want to know. Sources close to the situation, though remaining unnamed, suggest that this relationship is far more layered than it appears. Behind the scenes, there are complex dynamics at play, demanding schedules, intense public pressure, and two vastly different lifestyles. Timothée, known for his artistic depth and selective roles, operates in a very different world compared to Kylie, a global business icon and social media powerhouse. Two contrasting universes, yet somehow, they keep colliding. But here's where things take a turn. Amid all the romantic speculation, a subtle shift has been noticed by sharp-eyed observers. It's not just about high-profile appearances anymore. Instead, there are quieter, less publicized moments, interactions that suggest something deeper may be unfolding away from the cameras. And this raises a new theory: are they building something serious, in private? Now the pace slows down. Zoom in on one crucial detail: the absence of any official statement. No confirmation. No denial. Just silence. And in today's digital world, silence can be louder than any headline. And just when it feels like the story has reached its peak, another layer begins to unfold. Because behind the viral clips, the flashing cameras, and the endless speculation surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, there's a timeline that many people are only starting to piece together now. A timeline filled with subtle clues, almost invisible signals, and moments that didn't make headlines, until now. Rewind for a second. Long before the latest buzz, there were already whispers. Quiet sightings. Unconfirmed reports. Small interactions that didn't seem important at the time, but in hindsight, they paint a very different picture. Some fans believe this connection didn't just happen overnight. Instead, it may have been building slowly, away from the spotlight, long before the world caught on. And that changes everything. Because if this relationship has been developing in private for longer than we thought, then what we're seeing now isn't the beginning, it's the reveal. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Insiders have hinted that both Timothée and Kylie have become increasingly selective about what they allow to be seen. Not less visible, just more controlled. Every public appearance feels intentional. Every moment captured seems almost curated. And in an age where every move can be documented in seconds, that level of control is not accidental. It suggests awareness, strategy, or perhaps protection. Now shift the focus. Look at how their individual worlds have started to overlap. Fashion events, private gatherings, social circles that rarely intersect, until recently. There's been a quiet merging of environments, one that suggests a deeper integration than what's typically seen in short-lived celebrity relationships. And then comes the detail that fans can't stop talking about. A series of appearances where their body language told a completely different story than their silence. The way they stand closer. The way they react to each other in unscripted moments. These are not things that can easily be staged. These are instinctive. Natural. And that's exactly why people are paying attention. Pause. Because right here, the narrative splits into two powerful theories. On one side, you have those who believe this is a genuine connection, one that has grown stronger precisely because it's been kept away from public pressure. A relationship built quietly, evolving naturally, without the need for constant validation. On the other side, there's a more calculated interpretation. What if this is timing? What if the reappearance, the renewed attention, the sudden spike in visibility, all align with something bigger? Projects, brand movements, strategic positioning in an industry where relevance is everything. In Hollywood, visibility isn't random. It's often engineered. And yet, something doesn't fully fit that theory. Because if this were purely strategic, you would expect clearer messaging. More coordinated appearances. A stronger narrative being pushed. But instead, what we're seeing is ambiguity. Mixed signals. A story that refuses to define itself. And that unpredictability is what keeps people watching. Now let's go deeper. There's also the factor of timing in their personal lives. Both have gone through highly publicized chapters before this. Relationships that were intensely followed, analyzed, and ultimately exhausted by the spotlight. It raises a question that many aren't asking out loud. What if this time, they're doing things differently on purpose? What if the silence isn't a tactic, but a boundary? Because maintaining something real in an environment built on exposure requires a completely different approach. Less sharing. More control. Fewer statements. Stronger privacy. And suddenly, the pieces start to align in a new way. But just when it seems like we're getting closer to the truth, another twist emerges. Recent reports suggest that those within their inner circles are just as tight-lipped. No leaks. No dramatic reveals. No conflicting stories. And in the world of celebrity news, that level of consistency is rare. Almost suspiciously rare. It creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, speculation grows even stronger. Fans analyze everything: outfits, timing, locations, even background details and photos. Entire threads are built around seconds of footage. And somehow, each new theory only deepens the mystery instead of solving it. Now imagine this from their perspective. Every move you make is watched. Every interaction is interpreted. Every silence becomes a headline. At some point, controlling the narrative doesn't mean explaining it, it means letting people wonder. And that might be exactly what's happening here. Because the longer this remains undefined, the more powerful it becomes as a story. It evolves beyond a simple relationship into something larger, a cultural moment, a shared curiosity, a narrative that belongs as much to the audience as it does to the people living it. And now, we reach another turning point. Because whether this is real, strategic, or something in between, one thing is undeniable: the connection between Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner has already achieved something most celebrity relationships never do. It has sustained intrigue. Not for a day. Not for a week. But continuously, through silence, subtlety, and unpredictability. And that brings us to the question no one can definitively answer, yet. What happens next? Do they finally step forward and define what this is? Do they continue to keep it private, letting the mystery grow even further? Or does something unexpected happen that shifts the entire narrative overnight? Because if there's one pattern that has defined this story so far, it's unpredictability. And unpredictability keeps attention locked in. So stay close. And just when it seems like the mystery surrounding Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner couldn't get any deeper, a new wave of speculation begins to surface, this time, driven not by what is seen, but by what is deliberately not shown. Because in today's hyper-connected world, absence is never accidental. Moments where they don't appear together, times when one is seen in a place the other should be, subtle shifts in timing that create just enough distance to spark questions. Some observers believe this push and pull dynamic is intentional, a rhythm designed to maintain intrigue without oversaturation. Think about it. Too much exposure can dilute a story. Too little, and it disappears. But this sits perfectly in between. Just enough visibility to stay relevant, just enough mystery to stay compelling. And that balance is incredibly difficult to maintain. Now zoom in closer. There's been increasing attention on how their public images have started to evolve alongside this narrative. Timothee, often associated with indie credibility and artistic depth, has gradually stepped into more mainstream visibility. Meanwhile, Kylie, already a dominant force in pop culture, has shown moments of restraint, pulling back from constant exposure in ways that feel intentional. It's almost as if their worlds are not just colliding, but subtly reshaping each other. And that leads to another question that's quietly gaining traction. Is this relationship influencing their personal brands? Because in the entertainment industry, perception is power. Aligning with someone from a different sphere can expand audiences, shift narratives, and redefine how the public sees you. And whether intentional or not, their connection is doing exactly that. But here's where the story tightens again. Despite all these changes, there's still no clear narrative being confirmed. No interviews addressing it directly. No public declarations. Just fragments. Glimpses. Enough to suggest something real, but never enough to define it completely. And that creates tension. A constant state of almost knowing. Now shift gears. There's also the role of the audience in all of this. Because make no mistake, the public isn't just watching this story, they're actively shaping it. Every comment, every theory, every viral post adds another layer to the narrative. In a way, this isn't just their story anymore, it's a collective experience. And that's what makes it so powerful. Because when millions of people are invested in finding the answer, the story takes on a life of its own. But just as the speculation reaches another peak, something unexpected happens. A moment that seems small at first, but quickly gains traction. A detail in a recent appearance that doesn't align with previous patterns. A subtle shift in energy. A difference in how they interact, not distant, not overly affectionate, but something in between. Controlled. Measured. Almost as if they are aware of every angle, every lens, every possible interpretation. And suddenly, a new theory emerges. What if this isn't about hiding or revealing? What if it's about control? Because in a world where narratives can spiral out of control within minutes, maintaining control over your own story becomes one of the most valuable assets you can have. And perhaps, what we're witnessing isn't confusion, but precision. A carefully maintained balance between visibility and privacy. Now take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about two individuals. It's about how modern celebrity relationships exist in an era where nothing stays hidden, but not everything is fully understood. Where visibility doesn't equal transparency. And where silence can be more strategic than any statement. And that brings us to a deeper layer of the story. Trust. Not just between them, but in how they navigate the world around them. Who gets access? Who knows what? Who speaks, and who stays silent? Because in high-profile environments like this, trust is currency. And protecting it often means saying less, not more. Which might explain why, despite the constant attention, there's been no major fallout. No conflicting narratives. No public contradictions. just consistency in silence. But don't mistake silence for simplicity. Because beneath it, there's complexity. Decisions being made. Boundaries being set. Lines being drawn between what is public and what remains private. And now, we approach another critical point in the story. Fatigue. Not from the audience, but from the cycle itself. Because even the most compelling narratives eventually face a turning point. A moment where something has to give. Either the mystery deepens into something more concrete, or it begins to fade. So where does this story go from here? There are only a few possibilities. 1. A clear confirmation that shifts everything from speculation to reality. 2. A gradual fade out, where appearances become less frequent and the narrative quietly dissolves. Or 3, and this is where things get interesting, a completely unexpected development that reframes everything we thought we understood. Because if there's one consistent pattern in this entire timeline, it's that predictability has never been part of it. And maybe that's the point. Because in a media landscape driven by immediacy, the ability to sustain long-term intrigue is rare. It requires discipline, awareness, and a willingness to let the story unfold without forcing it. And whether intentional or not, that's exactly what's happening here. So now, the question shifts once again. Not what is happening, but why is it happening this way? Because the way a story is told often reveals more than the story itself. And in this case, the silence, the timing, the subtlety, they all point towards something that goes beyond a typical celebrity narrative. Something more controlled, more deliberate, more calculated, or perhaps more real. And just as that thought settles in, the uncertainty returns. Because without confirmation, every conclusion remains temporary. Every theory remains open. Every interpretation remains unfinished. Which means one thing. This story is still unfolding. And the next chapter? It could arrive at any moment. So stay alert. Stay curious. And most importantly, stay watching.